Rune 14 of the Kalevala. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. The Kalevala, compiled by Elias Lundroth, translated by John Martin Crawford. Rune 14. Death of Lemminkainen. Lemminkainen, much disheartened, deeply thought and long considered what to do, what course to follow, whether best to leave the wild moose in the fastness of Hissi and return to Kalevala, or a third time hunt the ranger, hoping thus to bring him captive, thus return at last a victor to the forest home of Louhi, to the joy of all her daughters, to the wood nymph's happy fireside. Taking courage, Lemminkainen spake these words in supplication: Ukko, thou, O God above me, thou creator of the heavens, put my snowshoes well in order, and endow them both with swiftness, that I rapidly may journey over marshes, over snowfields, over lowlands, over highlands, through the realms of wicked Hissi, through the distant plains of Lapland, through the paths of Lempo's wild moose, to the forest hills of Juutas. To the snowfields shall I journey, leave the heroes to the woodlands, on the way to Tapiola, into Tapio's wild dwellings. Greetings bring I to the mountains, greetings to the vales and uplands. Greet ye, heights with forests covered, greet ye, ever-verdant fir trees, greet ye, groves of whitened aspen. Greetings bring to those that greet you, fields and streams and woods of Lapland. Bring me favor, mountain woodlands, Lapland deserts, show me kindness. Mighty Tapio, be gracious, let me wander through thy forests, let me glide along thy rivers. Let this hunter search thy snowfields, where the wild moose herds in numbers, where the bounding reindeer lingers. O Nyrikki, mountain hero, son of Tapio of forests, hero with the scarlet headgear, notches make along the pathway, landmarks upward to the mountains, that this hunter may not wander, may not fall, and falling perish in the snowfields of thy kingdom. Hunting for the moose of Hissi, dowry for the pride of Northland, mistress of the woods, Mielikki, forest mother, formed in beauty, let thy gold flow out abundant, let thy silver onward wander, for the hero that is seeking, for the wild moose of thy kingdom. Bring me here thy keys of silver, from the golden girdle round thee, open Tapio's rich chambers, and unlock the forest fortress, while I here await the booty, while I hunt the moose of Lempo. Should this service be too menial, give the order to thy servants, send at once thy servant maidens, and command it to thy people. Thou wilt never seem a hostess, if thou hast not in thy service maidens ready by the hundreds, thousands that await thy bidding, who thy herds may watch and nurture, tend the game of thy dominions. Tall and slender forest virgin, Tapio's beloved daughter, blow thou now thy honey flute notes, play upon thy forest whistle, for the hearing of thy mistress, for thy charming woodland mistress. Make her hear thy sweet tone playing, that she may arise from slumber. Should thy mistress not awaken at the calling of thy flute notes, play again, and play unceasing, make the golden tongue re-echo. Wild and daring Lemminkainen, steadfast prays upon his journey, calling on the gods for succor, hastens off through fields and moorlands, passes on through cruel brushwood, to the colliery of Hissi, to the burning fields of Lempo, glided one day, then a second, glided all the next day onward, till he came to Big Stone Mountain, climbed upon its rocky summit, turned his glances to the northwest, toward the northland moors and marshes. There appeared the Tapio mansion. All the doors were golden colored, shining in the gleam of sunlight. Through the thickets on the mountains, through the distant fields of Northland. Lemminkainen, much encouraged, hastens onward from his station, through the lowlands, o'er the uplands, over snowfields vast and vacant, under snow-robed firs and aspens, hastens forward, happy-hearted, quickly reaches Tapio's courtyards, halts without at Tapio's windows, slyly looks into her mansion, spies within some kindly women, forest dames outstretched before him. All are clad in scanty raiment, dressed in soiled and ragged linens. Spake the stranger Lemminkainen, "Wherefore sit ye, forest mothers, in your old and simple garments, in your soiled and ragged linen? Ye, forsooth, are too untidy, too unsightly your appearance, in your tattered gowns apparelled. When I lived within the forest, there were then 3 mountain castles, one of horn and one of ivory, and the third of wood constructed. In their walls were golden windows, 6 the windows in each castle. Through these windows I discovered all the host of Tapio's mansion. Saw its fair and stately hostess, saw great Tapio's lovely daughter, saw Tellervo in her beauty, with her train of charming maidens. All were dressed in golden raiment, rustled all in gold and silver. Then the forest's queenly hostess, still the hostess of these woodlands, on her arms wore golden bracelets, golden rings upon her fingers. In her hair were sparkling jewels, on her head were golden fillets, on her ears were golden earrings, on her neck a pearly necklace, and her braidlets silver tinselled. Lovely hostess of the forest, Metsola's enchanting mistress, fling aside thine ugly straw shoes, cast away the shoes of birch bark, doff thy soiled and ragged linen, doff thy gown of shabby fabric, don the bright and festive raiment, don the gown of merrymaking, while I stay within thy borders, while I seek my forest booty. Hunt the moose of evil Hissi, here my visit will be irksome, here thy guest will be ill-humored, waiting in thy fields and woodlands, hunting here the moose of Lempo, finding not the Hissi ranger. Shouldst thou give me no enjoyment, should I find no joy nor respite, long the eve that gives no pleasure, long the day that brings no guerdon. Sable-bearded god of forests, in thy hat and coat of ermine, robe thy trees in finest fibers, deck thy groves in richest fabrics, give the fir trees shining silver, deck with gold the slender balsams, give the spruces copper belting, and the pine trees silver girdles, give the birches golden flowers, deck their stems with silver fretwork, this their garb in former ages, when the days and nights were brighter, when the fir trees shone like sunlight, and the birches like the moonbeams. Honey breathed throughout the forest, settled in the glens and highlands, spices in the meadow borders, oil outpouring from the lowlands. Forest daughter, lovely virgin, golden maiden, fair Tulikki, second of the Tapio daughters, drive the game within these borders, to these far extending snowfields. Should the reindeer be too sluggish, should the moose deer move too slowly, cut a birch rod from the thicket, whip them hither in their beauty, drive the wild moose to my hurdle, hither drive the long-sought booty to the hunter who is watching, waiting in the Hissi forests. When the game has started hither, keep them in the proper highway, hold thy magic hands before them, guard them well on either roadside, that the elk may not escape thee, may not dart adown some bypath. Should perchance the moose deer wander through some byway of the forest, take him by the ears and antlers, hither lead the pride of Lempo. If the path be filled with brushwood, cast the brushwood to the roadside. If the branches cross his pathway, break the branches into fragments. Should a fence of fir or alder cross the way that leads him hither, make an opening within it. Open 9 obstructing fences. If the way be crossed by streamlets, If the path be stopped by rivers, make a bridge of silken fabric, weaving webs of scarlet color. Drive the deer herd gently over, lead them gently o'er the waters, o'er the rivers of thy forests, o'er the streams of thy dominions. Thou, the host of Tapio's mansion, gracious host of Tapiola, sable-bearded god of woodlands, golden lord of northland forests, thou, O Tapio's worthy hostess, queen of snowy woods, Mimerki, ancient dame in sky-blue vesture, fenland queen in scarlet ribbons. Come I to exchange my silver, to exchange my gold and silver. Gold I have, as old as moonlight, silver of the age of sunshine. In the first of years was gathered, in the heat and pain of battle. It will rust within my pouches, soon will wear away and perish, if it be not used in trading. Long the hunter, Lemminkainen, glided through the fen and forest, sang his songs throughout the woodlands, through 3 mountain glens he sang them, sang the forest hostess friendly, sang he also Tapio friendly, friendly all the forest virgins, all of Metsola's fair daughters. Now they start the herds of Lempo, start the wild moose from his shelter, in the realms of evil Hissi, Tapio's highest mountain region. Now they drive the ranger homeward, to the open courts of Piru, to the hero that is waiting, hunting for the moose of Jutas. When the herd had reached the castle, Lemminkainen threw his lasso o'er the antlers of the blue moose, settled on the neck and shoulders of the mighty moose of Hissi. Then the hunter, Kaukomieli, stroked his captive's neck in safety, for the moose was well imprisoned. Thereupon gay Lemminkainen, filled with joyance, spake as follows: Pride of forests, queen of woodlands, Metsola's enchanted hostess, lovely forest dame, Mielikki, mother donor of the mountains, take the gold that I have promised, come and take away the silver, spread thy kerchief well before me, spread out here thy silken neck wrap, underneath the golden treasure, underneath the shining silver, that to earth it may not settle, scattered on the snows of winter. Then the hero went a victor to the dwellings of Pohjala, and addressed these words to Louhi: I have caught the moose of Hissi, in the Metsola dominions. Give, O hostess, give thy daughter, give to me thy fairest virgin, bride of mine to be hereafter. Louhi, hostess of the Northland, gave this answer to the suitor: I will give to thee my daughter, for thy wife my fairest maiden, when for me thou'lt put a bridle on the flaming horse of Hissi, rapid messenger of Lempo, on the Hissi plains and pastures. Nothing daunted, Lemminkainen hastened forward to accomplish Louhi's second test of heroes, on the cultivated lowlands, on the sacred fields and forests. Everywhere he sought the racer, sought the fire-expiring stallion, fire outshooting from his nostrils. Lemminkainen, fearless hunter, bearing in his belt his bridle, on his shoulders reins and halter, sought one day and then the second. Finally, upon the 3rd day, went he to the Hissi mountain, climbed and struggled to the summit. To the east he turned his glances, cast his eyes upon the sunrise. There beheld the flaming courser, on the heath among the far trees, Lempo's fire-expiring stallion, fire and mingled smoke outshooting from his mouth and eyes and nostrils. Spake the daring Lemminkainen, this the hero's supplication: Ukko, thou, O God above me, thou that rulest all the storm clouds, open thou the vault of heaven, open windows through the ether, let the icy rain come falling, let the heavy hailstones shower on the flaming horse of Hissi, on the fire-expiring stallion. Ukko, the benign creator, heard the prayer of Lemminkainen, broke apart the dome of heaven, rent the heights of heaven asunder, sent the iron hail in showers, smaller than the heads of horses, larger than the heads of heroes, on the flaming steed of Lempo, on the fire-expiring stallion, on the terror of the Northland. Lemminkainen, drawing nearer, looked with care upon the courser. Then he spake the words that follow: Wonder steed of mighty Hissi, flaming horse of Lempo's mountain, bring thy mouth of gold assenting, gently place thy head of silver in this bright and golden halter, in this silver-mounted bridle. I shall never harshly treat thee, never make thee fly too fleetly, on the way to Sariola, on the tracks of long duration, to the hostess of Pohjola, to her magic courts and stables, will not lash thee on thy journey. I shall lead thee gently forward, drive thee with the reins of kindness, cover thee with silken blankets. Then the fire-haired steed of Juutas, flaming horse of mighty Hissi, put his head of shining silver in the bright and golden headstall, in the silver-mounted bridle. Thus the hero, Lemminkainen, easy bridles Lempo stallion, flaming horse of evil Piru, lays the bits within his fire-mouth, on his silver head the halter, mounts the fire-expiring courser, brandishes his whip of willow, hastens forward on his journey, bounding o'er the hills and mountains, dashing through the valleys northward, o'er the snow-capped hills of Lapland, to the courts of Sariola. Then the hero, quick dismounting, stepped within the court of Louhi, thus addressed the Northland hostess: I have bridled Lempo's fire horse, I have caught the Hissi racer, caught the fire-expiring stallion, in the Piru plains and pastures, ridden him within thy borders. I have caught the moose of Lempo, I have done what thou demandest. Give, I pray thee, now thy daughter, give to me thy fairest maiden, bride of mine to be forever. Louhi, hostess of Pohjola, made this answer to the suitor: I will only give my daughter, give to thee my fairest virgin, bride of thine to be forever, when for me the swan thou killest in the river of Tuoni, swimming in the black death river, in the sacred stream and whirlpool. Thou canst try one crossbow only, but one arrow from thy quiver. Then the reckless Lemminkainen, handsome hero, Kaukomieli, braved the third test of the hero, started out to hunt the wild swan, hunt the long-necked, graceful swimmer, in Tuoni's coal-black river, in Manala's lower regions. Quick the daring hunter journeyed, hastened off with fearless footsteps to the river of Tuoni, to the sacred stream and whirlpool, with his bow upon his shoulder, with his quiver and one arrow. Nashut, blind and crippled shepherd, wretched shepherd of Pohjola, stood beside the Deathland river, near the sacred stream and whirlpool, guarding Tuonela's waters, waiting there for Lemminkainen, listening there for Kaukomieli, waiting long the hero's coming. Finally he hears the footsteps of the hero on his journey, hears the tread of Lemminkainen as he journeys nearer, nearer, to the river of Tuoni, to the cataract of Deathland, to the sacred stream and whirlpool. Quick the wretched shepherd, Nashut, from the death stream sends a serpent, like an arrow from a crossbow, to the heart of Lemminkainen, through the vitals of the hero. Lemminkainen, little conscious, hardly knew that he was injured, spake these measures as he perished: Ah, unworthy is my conduct, ah, unwisely have I acted, that I did not heed my mother, did not take her goodly counsel, did not learn her words of magic. Oh, I, for 3 words with my mother, how to live and how to suffer in this time of dire misfortune, how to bear the stings of serpents, tortures of the reed of waters, from the stream of Tuonela, ancient mother who hast borne me, who hast trained me from my childhood. Learn, I pray thee, where I linger, where, alas, thy son is lying, where thy reckless hero suffers. Come, I pray thee, faithful mother, come thou quickly, thou art needed. Come deliver me from torture, from the death jaws of Tuoni, from the sacred stream and whirlpool. Northland's old and wretched shepherd, Nashut, the despised protector of the flocks of Sariola, throws the dying Lemminkainen, throws the hero of the islands into Tuonela's river, to the blackest stream of Deathland, to the worst of fatal whirlpools. Lemminkainen, wild and daring, helpless falls upon the waters, floating down the coal-black current, through the cataract and rapids, to the tombs of Tuonela. There the blood-stained son of Deathland, there Tuoni's son and hero, cuts in pieces Lemminkainen, chops him with his mighty hatchet, till the sharpened axe strikes flint sparks from the rocks within his chamber, chops the hero into fragments, into 5 unequal portions, throws each portion to Tuoni in Manala's lowest kingdom, speaks these words when he has ended: swim thou there, wild Lemminkainen, flow thou onward in this river, hunt forever in these waters, with thy crossbow and thine arrow. Shoot the swan within this empire, shoot our water birds in welcome. Thus the hero, Lemminkainen, thus the handsome Kaukomieli, the untiring suitor, dieth in the river of Tuoni, in the death realm of Manala. End of section 14. Recording by Richard Oroksar.